It's Operation Babble with Myke Shrews. It's pop culture, music, movies, TV too. It's time to explore life. It's Operation Babble time.
It's Operation Babble time. Hello.
Happy Festivus.
That's a Seinfeld reference, right?
I thought it was Simpsons.
Okay. Anyways, welcome back, everybody, to Operation Babble.
90s were so long ago.
No, they were not. We are not old. Welcome back,
yourself.
everyone. This is our Christmas episode. We are starting right now without John, so hopefully he joins in with us soon, but we just could not wait any longer. If he doesn't show up, everybody at him, you can find him at John. Never mind. I'm not going to dox him like that. Anyways, Tivis, how you been, man?
Surviving this holiday season. We put Christmas lights up for the first time on our house, so that's cool.
Awesome. I had to climb in the tree to do it.
I saw the photo. That looked like a hell of a tree.
Yeah, it was a fun tree. And then she was like, "Oh, go out further onto this branch here." I'm like, "The fuck do you want me to get out there? How am I supposed to get out there?" Like, because the branch gets thinner and thinner as it goes. So it's like, no way.
You got a trampoline to put under me?
I have a bad experience with trampolines, says my ankle.
Oh.
And for those who don't remember, yes, I broke my ankle. Ow. No.
What haven't you broken? Just
I haven't broke my dick, Tivis. So I got that.
Let's hope that continues.
Anyways, guys, today our Christmas episode, we are talking about 3 specific movies. One, Tivis, your pick.
8-bit.
8-bit
Christmas? Yeah, 8-bit Christmas.
8-bit Christmas, and that
I've
was
been called an
on,
8-bit for weeks. I forgot that was another word.
That's on HBO Max, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. And then my pick was Black Friday, which turns out not much of a Christmas movie, but we'll get into that. And that is you can find that on VOD at the moment. I just ended up purchasing it.
I bought it
for cheap. And so you can find that. It's Bruce Campbell, Devon Sawa, Michael Jai White flick, guys. So I mean, if you love any 3 of those guys, you'll enjoy this film. It's exactly what you think of from a Bruce Campbell film. He did produce it. So and then the third pick was John's pick. It is Jingle All The Way, the classic Arnold Schwarzenegger film, with rest in peace Phil Hartman. And so
that one was on. I watched it on Disney Plus, but it was on a couple other ones as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure which one's exact, but
if you can't find,
it's pretty easy to find.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're probably running it on one channel like nonstop right now too.
And I was just telling you before we started recording, the second one is getting popular this year for some reason. I actually meant to watch it for this and I forgot. So
yeah, I've never seen the second one. I mean, I don't even think I've seen a full trailer for the second one. The second one had Larry the Cable Guy in it, and it was like during his like cable renaissance. I don't know what we call that. The Larry-sance.
Shit. Yeah, you can watch this thing pretty much anywhere. Disney Plus, Hulu, Amazon, Tubi, Freeform.
Okay. Which one?
The first one.
The first one. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty much everywhere that you can watch most films. So before we dive into this, I just want to say this year, me and my wife had done something different with films. We still have watched like our traditional family movies that we watched, the Santa Claus movies, the first 2 Home Alones. We actually ended up watching the new Sweet Home Alone or whatever it was. Not a horrible film. So it was different compared to the other ones for sure. But we also did this thing where once the kids went to bed, we would turn on a Hallmarky Christmas film almost every night. And oh boy, the commentary is so much fun between us two. There was one that we just finished up. It took us 2 nights to get through it. If that tells you anything. And it was about it. It didn't know if it wanted to be a Hallmark film or like romantic drama. So it was interesting. It was about a guy who works for a big company. His parents own the company. His mom owns the company or whatever. And he has to go and persuade this girl because that's the only thing he knows how to do is persuade young women to do things that they necessarily wouldn't do. Literally a line his mom says.
What's his name? Harvey?
Yeah. Weinstein. So yeah, it was so bad. And the actress in it, the way she was acting reminded me of like a low grade Megan Fox. So if that tells you anything. Oh, it did have some funny moments. So the comedic element of it was pretty funny. The actor on there was pretty cool. So anyways, let's move forward with these films. Do you want to start with
well, before we do that, I saw a movie that I wish one of us had picked because I completely forgot about it.
What is it?
Batman is being advertised on the side of the IMDb page I'm on.
That's the Mel Gibson one, right?
Yeah, the one that looks like someone hired a hitman for Santa Claus.
Yeah, some kid hires a hitman to kill Santa Claus.
It looks so dumb. I wanted to watch that.
I want to watch that. I have not watched that. That came out last year, I want to say.
Yeah, last December.
Yeah,
I completely forgot about it until just now.
Yeah, I thought they were making a sequel to it, but
I wouldn't be shocked.
It kind of is like a cross between the Santa Claus and Kick-Ass. That's what it reminded me of when I saw the trailer. Yeah. Now I want to go watch it. I'm probably going to watch that before Christmas time then, or before Christmas Day, I should say. So, which film do you want to start with, dude?
You want to just go newest to oldest? So we do 8-bit first?
Sure. Well, is 8-bit newer than Black Friday? Or they come out the same time?
I thought it came out like a week or two after, but then again, I thought Ghostbusters came out before Eternals, so what do I know?
Nothing. You know nothing.
No, they came out like a exact same time, November, like late November.
All right, so then just dive into 8-bit then.
All right. Yeah, this movie's got Neil Patrick Harris, and we've been watching How I Met Your Mother again. Like my wife put it on, now we're both addicted to it again. Holy shit, dude. I forgot how phenomenal that guy is.
So I will say the first thoughts of this film are, and probably the only note I actually wrote down for the most part, this film reminded me of Diary of a Wimpy Kid meets the Goldbergs show. So it was entertaining.
I will say I didn't feel as much cringe as I do with Diary of a Wimpy Kid. That movie, like literally the inside of me is like, oh no.
Did you see they're basically remaking Diary of a Wimpy Kid, but in animated form? It's almost
with the journal drawings, the book drawings.
Yeah. It's the same damn movie though. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean they already recast everyone for that last live action one, so
yeah. Because wasn't Alicia Silverstone like the mom in that one?
I don't remember. I just know that the original kids got way too old looking because they waited so long.
All right. So let's dive into this. So I want to. What's the premise of this, Tivis?
The premise, is because
this one
old Jake, Neil Patrick Harris, is telling his daughter the story about how when he was around like 10 or something, he tried to get a Nintendo for Christmas and all the hijinks that went along with it. That's pretty much the premise. It's just the whole movie's a flashback.
Yeah. So and they were smart with this because they marketed it as a Neil Patrick Harris movie, but it's really just like his voiceover.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you do see him more than I thought you would, but
yeah, they do a nice little storyline with the narrated people. So that's really cool to see that. They open this film, as you said, like they're going through that part, and he starts to tell the story, and the way that they walk into, I guess, the flashback scenario, the story world, is they do this like they're playing a 8-bit video game. People that don't know what those are, it's like the old school
NES.
Yeah, NES and stuff like that. So they go into that, and it transitions almost perfectly from 8-bit to the real world, like almost seamlessly. I love.
Yeah, I think he was doing a Paperboy or something like that.
I think so. Yeah. Because they were riding the bike down the road and stuff like that. Yeah, it was like an almost seamless. I was like, that was really cool. Because I think they tried to do the same type of thing with Pixels, the Adam Sandler film, and it didn't look as smoothly as this transition did here. So
no, but I mean, it's Adam Sandler.
What's that mean?
I don't.
Screw you, man.
He's a funny guy, but I don't expect much from his production company.
I don't know, man. Click was badass.
I didn't say I don't enjoy his films. I'm just saying I don't expect much.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So let's go through this real quick. So basically the whole thing is he's trying to get a Nintendo for Christmas.
Yeah, and it's because the neighborhood rich kid has one and everyone is envious, and he is a piece of shit. Is like, like 10 of you a day can come in if you bribe me enough and play. And they don't actually play. They watch him play. Yeah.
They do this. It's so dumb, too. He's just like, I'm going to choose you and you and you and you.
Not you.
And not you. And they go through this. They do this scene twice. They do the first one, and then the second one is when they have to bring their offerings, like he's a fucking king or something.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on? It was a nice. These are the moments that made me think of Diary of the Wimpy Kid a lot more because they're like just these extreme, like, yeah. But I'm curious if there were kids back then that did stuff like this.
I'm curious as well because I know. I didn't have a lot of the Nintendo consoles. Like I had all the others, but not Nintendo. I went from Super Nintendo to the Switch.
Right.
And my buddy had them, so I'd go over to his house and we'd play it together.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't go to like some random kid's house that I knew.
Especially one who's just like, I'll be your friend if you give me things.
Yeah. You're already rich. I did love how the second time they go over there, they introduced the Power Glove, which turned out to be the biggest piece of shit Nintendo ever made.
Yeah. As soon as I saw that pop up on the screen, I was like, oh shit, it's the Power Glove. I started going into this whole thing about how I wanted one for like the longest time ever. And my wife's like, why? And I told her what it did, but then I was like, before the movie got to it, I was like, but it didn't work. It sucked ass, but it looked cool. That's like the only thing I cared about.
And if anyone is curious about this thing, Angry Video Game Nerd has an excellent episode on it. Go watch that.
Yeah. And there's also a movie called The Wizard from the 90s that deals with
I forgot about the shit.
I used to watch this movie nonstop, bro. Like it was an awesome film. It was about a kid who he was just a fucking wizard at playing video games. He was a genius at it. He didn't do much talking or anything like that, but it was a really good movie. I recommend everyone go and watch it because they do also introduce the Power Glove in that movie as well. And I forget the main kid from that film, the actor. It was Luke Edwards. No, that was the little boy. Yeah, I don't remember the Fred Savage. That's who it was.
Fred Savage.
Yeah. Is in this film as well. So definitely check that one out. Christian Slater was in this film too, and I totally forgot about that. But at the beginning of this movie, 8-Bit, they do say it's sometime in the 80s. Like they don't give an exact date. But the second that they say the Power Glove is there, the Power Glove came out in 1989. So this is literally 1989. Because it came out in December of 89. So it's like
when they start the flashback, and you even see this in the trailer for it, he's like, the year was 1989. Or was it 84? No, it was 89. Maybe it was 84. And she's like, Dad. He's like, it was the late 80s.
Yeah. and it's freaking NPH's like that perfect like voice. Like he sounds like Barney when he says it.
Oh, yeah. It just, he made this film so much more enjoyable just hearing him throughout it.
Yeah. The narration is perfect.
At some point, they end up at the mall. A couple times, actually, in this movie, they end up at the mall. He goes with his family to shopping, and then they go on a field trip, and he escapes to go try and buy a Nintendo with some money they got from baseball cards they sold. And
well, you forget the first time he was at the mall, he goes freaking crazy and thinks his giant Nintendo's talking.
Yeah, it's talking to. But my wife, I watched the. 2 of these with her, and she turns. She's like, I love a Christmas movie where they're at the mall, and I'm like, I know, it makes it feel like better for some reason.
Yeah,
because the friggin' propaganda, material world we live in.
We all need a little bit of mall shopping, Tivis.
Yeah. Just that material girl.
Well, I mean, not only that, it's like you see these movies, and it has to be a period piece too for this movie to work, because you don't see this type of stuff anymore around Christmas time. At least for me, I mean, I live in Florida. Most of our malls are outside anyway, so we don't get like that traditional mall experience. But there's you just don't see it. I'm just happy when I'm walking around at Christmas time after Thanksgiving and I hear the Christmas music playing at the shopping centers. So that lightens my day. But yeah, you don't see like the whole, there's 500 toy aisles and all that crap. Like Toys R Us went out and then everyone decided, oh, we don't need to carry toys either now. So
well, I thought the personalities for the friends when he was a kid made a lot of that. Was like, there's the kid that's just there, no one knows why he's there, he's the pathological liar. I'm like, yeah, there's always one of those.
Yep. Yeah, I
feel bad that there was twins there that they're not only twins that share a birthday, but their birthday is Christmas.
Yeah.
And I'm the middle niece that I have, her birthday's Christmas Eve, and she's already getting kind of chipped from a lot of family because try to roll it into one. I'm like, that sucks.
Yeah, these guys got screwed over because not only did they get their birthday and Christmas present together, but they got one present to share between the both of them.
Wasn't it a bike?
No, it was like playing cards. They were just cards, a pack of cards.
Oh, I was later in the movie when he's calling them up. Did you get a Nintendo? No, we got a bike to share.
Yeah. I was just like, because this was a gift. I think it was from like their grandparents or some shit. That was their birthday present that they opened up, which was was it baseball cards? I want to say,
baseball.
Some sport card. Okay. And yeah, they I feel bad for them. Anyways, so we do get to this like awesome like Ocean's 11 type of like plan that they have when they go on their field trip, as Tivis was saying, and they're going to try and they all pooled their money together. Basically, the twins sold off some of their cards, some other people sold off other cards, or pitched in their money from whatever they could. And
the kid who was just there tried to give him coupons.
Yeah, they all like pulled together everything, which I'm curious how they would they have taken turns with the Nintendo? Like, who would actually own it?
I would assume, since most of it came from the girl who sold her baseball collection, it should be hers. But
yeah, I would, because that was the twins. I would assume it would be the twins, mostly, and the other ones just are paying a rental fee. So they do this event, and the whole thing is like fake puke. Or no, it's real puke. It's real puke. Yeah.
That is one of their friends is he's got like some allergies or something. I don't know. He eats SpaghettiOs and pukes. And they like time it out. It's like 2 cans of SpaghettiOs equals 9 minutes of puke.
And so the kid does that and he starts vomiting. These kids are actually pretty smart, because when you open the back of a bus door, at least when you used to, an alarm would sound. So they take and shove like a big old coat or some shit over the alarm as they bust the door open to muffle the sound. And I would hope that kids nowadays would be that smart. Not that I'm saying to do that, but that was just a great attention to detail right there. I love.
And can we talk about his family for like? I did not expect Steve Zahn to be in this. I have not seen that guy in a long time. Mm-hmm. He played the dad, and June Raphael, the mom. The mom is a teacher, and she's basically like letting, because he's also got a younger daughter, or not a daughter, sister, who is like a kiss ass the entire movie. And you could tell that like the parents are wait on her hand and foot. And so she's like, the mom's giving her stuff to grade, and says, if it's just got a heart over the eye, it's wrong. And the dad is constantly trying to upgrade the house.
Yeah. If you do like him, he was in that Tall Girl movie. I think he was the dad in that one as well. It's on Netflix, but he's been in a bunch. I mean, he continuously is working. He does a lot more like TVs and stuff like that, appearances. But yeah, he's done a bunch of shit. I think he was even like ape in one of the new Planet of the Ape films. He played one of the apes there, which was kind of cool. But yeah, he's been in a bunch of stuff, man. He's fucking everything. A lot of TV shows. The Ridiculous Six and all that stuff.
What's funny is I think he was also the dad on Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Was he?
I think.
Yeah, it looks like it. The Roderick Rules one. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But the sister, she's at some point there's the giant scare that always happens with new stuff. It's evil and turning our kids bad.
Yeah.
So the parents start getting, there's a great bit where the kids are like, hey, if you sell Reese for the Boy Scouts, you could get a Nintendo. And he goes all out trying to figure out how to do it. And eventually his sister's like, hey, I'll tell you how to win if you help me get a Cabbage Patch doll.
And it wasn't the Boy Scouts. Can't use that. Can't use those. Can't use that.
No, term. You can't.
No, it was something. It was called something else. It was just some Scouts, but I don't even think it's called Boy Scouts anymore. It's just Scouts of America.
Well, it's a period piece. It don't matter.
But in the show, it wasn't even Boy Scouts. It was something.
I didn't think it was, but it was supposed to be like all boys, and it's definitely a scouting troop.
It was like Boy Scouts, but I think they made it something completely different, so they didn't have to worry about that issue, because they were wearing like flat green uniforms and shit. If I remember correctly. Yeah.
And So, he goes all out selling and stuff, and they get to it. And he's like, "You win some encyclopedias." And it flashes back to the night before because there was an incident with the rich kid. He gets angry with his power glove, kicks the TV, and it falls on his Chihuahua dog.
Oh, yeah.
And so, the dog's injured, and the parents blame the games instead of the fact that their kid's a spoiled asshole.
As most parents do, they like to blame movies and music and games,
D&D
and everything. A lot of parents that don't want to take responsibility just blame everything else. And back then too, the media didn't help. They blamed all these things as well.
Scares on everything.
WWF is the reason that these kids do that. Man, shut the fuck up. Like, I do it because I want to do it, and my parents didn't tell me no.
Why did you want to do it though?
Because it was fun. We are all just animals who want to throw each other around.
Oh, I forgot the bully. There's they have this guy who's clearly like 20 something years old.
Yeah, in like fucking elementary school.
I have to assume that it's because he's telling the story. It's his imagination of what the kid looked like. It's the only explanation I have, because there's no way in hell this guy is in elementary school. Even if I don't know how this is everywhere else, but you get like 3 times being held back and then you're forced to move forward here in Ohio.
Yeah. Maybe it's a Happy Madison or a Billy Madison event. He's like, I have to go through these classes.
I love the introduction to him though, because they're playing like King of the Hill, and he's like, for some reason we gathered to have him beat the crap out of us every day. It's like when you're a kid, you're like, yeah, you never really think about it. This is a losing battle. It's just, I have to do this.
Yeah.
Because we did stuff like that.
I don't remember ever doing that. Like, I mean, I got into fights in elementary school, but
you never did King of the Hill?
No. Nope. I don't even understand that. It's just supposed to be like you climb the mountain to see whoever gets the highest or some shit.
Yeah, you're on top and you have to stay there. Everyone else trying to knock you off.
Oh, so prison rules. Gotcha.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Except no shanking.
You hope. It depends on the school you're going to.
There was also the weird kid behind the dumpster.
Yeah, who ends up turning into being like the genius kid. Like,
yeah,
he's a genius. I don't remember exactly what he does.
He just basically doesn't care. And that's when the main character, Jake, is like, yeah, I should just stop caring.
Yeah, the other kid's just like, what am I going to do? Like, what?
I wouldn't exactly call him a genius because he ate erasers like gum.
I mean, so?
Fair, I guess.
Maybe his intellectual is so high above ours. He understands why eating erasers is good. Please do not eat erasers, people. That is not me saying go eat erasers.
For legal reasons, we cannot condone this. You want to get into the ending?
Yeah, let's do this one, because out of the 3 films that I watched, this one seemed to be the more, and I know John will hate me for saying it because I know another pick is one that I really like too, Jingle All The Way, but this one seems to have a better message, I would say.
Yeah, I was not expecting this end.
No, I was not either. And
because they kind of foreshadow it in the beginning. It's like, you're gonna be okay this Christmas. And I noticed his wife, and they mention a brother isn't there, so I'm more like, are they splitting up?
Well, before we dive into that real quick, hold on, there's some parts that we missed that are
you want to bring up? Okay.
So his dad goes to a black market guy to get a Cabbage Patch doll, and buys a Cabbage Patch doll out of the back of a car. Okay.
Oh, who was the black market guy? I recognize him.
Oh, it was what is his name?
David Cross?
Is that it?
Yeah, David Cross.
Okay. Yeah, the dealer is what they have him on there. Yeah, David Cross, Megamind himself, right? Or no, he was Megamind's buddy.
I like him too. He's another great comedic actor.
Mm. And he basically like gets his daughter the Cabbage Patch doll, but there's also a Nintendo in there, and he's just like, no, we're only getting this because you're your sister, your sister. We don't want to deal with that shit. And so later on in the movie, the kid, after the Nintendo that they gets crushed. We didn't mention
it's
that.
A failed mission.
The Nintendo that they actually purchase gets crushed by a bus and blows up. It's just like whoosh. I'm like, one, that doesn't happen. There's no gas.
Again, I have to credit to his telling a story.
Right. His imagination.
Yeah.
But see, that only works if it's the kid retelling the story, not an adult retelling the kid's. I guess.
Enough time passes and you get foggy with details.
What you remember is what actually happened.
Or he's embellishing for his daughter's sake.
Right. So our main character ends up sitting down on the bench, and the dealer is there too. Why can't they give him a better name than the dealer? And
he recognizes him from the night before.
Yeah. And so they go into this whole thing, and he's like, "Oh, so you're gonna give me a Nintendo?" He's like, "No, I'm gonna call you a cab." Like, and but in this point here, the dealer is my cat's going crazy.
He's basically trying to say, appreciate what you have rather than what you don't have.
Right. And
that comes back around
to a point. So he does all that, appreciate the things that you got, your family and shit like that, and you move along. And so I thought that moment is going to be okay. That's perfect. As we move along towards the end of the film, with the kid storyline, anyways, Christmas happens. He doesn't get anything. He sees another present from his uncle or some shit.
Rich uncle, yeah.
Uncle.
He's like, it's the perfect size for a Nintendo.
Yeah. And he opens up and it's a light bright. Yeah. and he just like, he has this demeanor of him like he didn't learn a lesson from the dealer in this entire up until like the very end here. But it's like he just didn't learn his freaking lesson at all.
And we go back to the present, Neil Patrick Harris with his daughter. She's like, but where did you get the Nintendo? He's like, why don't you come with me?
Yeah.
And he takes her out back.
No, in the past time too, they actually reveal the fort.
I thought it was in the present first, and then it goes back to the past.
No, he reveals it in the past and then walks her out there and shows her.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Because she's like, okay, and this is where the Nintendo was? And he's like, no.
Yeah. So his dad was building him a fort this whole time, a tree fort, and a nice tree fort too, by the way.
Yeah. Throughout the whole movie, he's like asking him to help him do certain stuff that turns out to be for this.
Yeah. And but again, my only hang up with this whole thing was like he didn't really learn his lesson at the point where he should have learned his lesson.
No, I think that's pretty common with kids, though.
He kind of forgets the entire thing. Well, yeah, it's common with kids, and I know people that would critique the movie would find it as a detriment, but I actually think it's realistic for a kid.
Yeah, I can't tell you.
Go on.
Let's just go to the ending and then I'll say it.
Okay. So they reveal that then he's out there with his daughter showing her the fort, and she's like, is this where it was? And he's like, no. And she's like, well, where'd you get your Nintendo? Never did. Never got it.
I had to get a paper route and buy it myself a year later, or that summer or whatever.
Yeah.
And so they reveal, it's like his mom comes back and calls them all for dinner, and they're talking about, because they see his dad carved a J in it, and then after the treehouse, dad has him call her, the kid's J in it, so they both initialed their work.
Yeah.
And then they're having dinner, and they're going around the house to all the different things around the house with the 2 J's that they had made together, and it reveals this is their first Christmas after his dad passed away.
Yeah, which is it. The whole ending scene here is really, it hits home. It hits hard.
Yeah, it did. Holy shit. I fucking teared up like no tomorrow.
Yeah. And it really had, for all the goofiness and everything else in the movie, I was not expecting an ending to have a nice jab at the end.
Impact. Yeah.
Yeah. A nice impact. Not only for Christmas time, but for family, for, like the dealer says earlier in the film, be grateful for the things that you have and enjoy the time with those things that you have. So
yeah. My dad has always been similar to this guy. He's always did stuff himself. He'd rather do it himself than have somebody else do it and screw it up. That's his mentality. And throughout my entire life, he's tried to teach me how to do that stuff. So this is just like, oh shit, I wish I had done more with him when I was a kid and actually learned some shit. But
yeah. Dear Dad, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you still have time, man, right?
Yeah, I know. It hit home because I'm like, oh fuck, I don't know how much time I got left. He's a plumbing and pipe fitter, and his job is basically killing him. I don't know if he's gonna make it to retirement.
Yeah. That's a rough one, especially the older you get. All right. So final thoughts on this film, bro? Like,
dude, I loved it. The ending, it's a heartfelt message, but holy shit, that it bummed me out. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to come back to this one.
It's definitely a really good one. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the comedy. I enjoyed the heartfelt moments. It really knew how to lay it out just right to where you weren't expecting that much of an impactful ending.
No,
at all. Because there are no real like redeeming factors for the father son that we see on screen, besides him being happy about having the fort and stuff. Although he gets the fort and they literally have to leave right after, so it's like, oh shit. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one. I'll probably watch it again. I don't know if it'll be like in our yearly rotation thing, but it'll definitely be one that I go back to for sure. And again, people, you can find this film on HBO Max if you have not yet watched it. Hopefully you've already watched it if you're listening to us talking about it, because we spoiled it.
Yeah, this is definitely worth one watch for sure.
Yeah. Awesome, man. All right, so do we want to move along, or do you got anything else for us on this film?
No, we should probably move along since you don't have a whole lot of time. Black Friday. Did you know this was actually filmed in an old Babies R Us?
I can see that.
Yeah.
No, know that. This was directed by Casey Tebow. And as I said before, Bruce Campbell was a producer on it. I don't know how much that means, though, for this movie, because he could just have been like, oh, yeah, I'll do it. So as long as you make me a producer. Like, I'm
going to attempt this one. It was written by Andy Greskoviak. That sounds like a fun one to say, so I wanted to say
it. Yeah. And it stars...
looks like a fun one to say.
Devon Sawa, for people who don't know, like Tivis. Devon Sawa was in Final Destination. He played the live action Casper in the first Casper movie, which a lot of people don't remember. Casper actually shows up as a human in that film for about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And he was in Little Giant, shit like that. Idle Hands is one of my favorite ones that he did. And of course, for any Eminem fans out there, he is Stan from the Eminem Stan music video.
Also E, apparently.
E?
It just says Eminem E Stan. Segment Stan. So is that like maybe a movie or a combination of all his stuff?
Probably. I'm not sure what that is.
I have
or the
no
E
idea.
is Eminem. I don't know. No.
Let's get into this.
Anyway.
Collection of music videos. I was right.
Yeah. And it also stars, of course, Bruce Campbell, and Michael Jai White is the other big name that I noticed before watching the film. And then,
I will say that I forgot Bruce Campbell's comedy. Oh, dude, it hits every angle. It makes me want to pick up his new satire political book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he wrote that during the pandemic too, I believe. So
it's probably got a lot of good stuff.
No, Bruce Campbell's an awesome one in here. Like we get introduced to Devin Sawa's character as a dad of two, and his daughters really do not want to be with their mom, it seems. But we don't see them the rest of the film. And we start the film out actually with a meteor. Like
another convenience store getting ready for Black Friday. Something crashes through the ceiling.
Yeah.
I was not expecting this because in the promos, it's clear this was a zombie film, but actually it's an alien invasion film.
I'm curious because, so the first store that they break through into is called Allmart or some shit like that, or Star Mart or some one of those things. I thought it would have been cool for it to be S-Mart from the Evil Dead films where Ash worked.
Yeah,
that would have been kind of cool tie-in, but
nice little Easter egg.
Yeah, I'm curious though if they were planning on doing that and then they digitally went in and changed it because they couldn't get the rights to do it or something.
Could be,
because I'm not sure if Sam Raimi owns that or if who owns that actual
I'm not sure either
stuff anymore. Because I'm sure, Bruce Campbell would have been able to get Sam Raimi, but then it's like, oh, it's kind of canon to Evil Dead. And then people would go fucking ape shit crazy over it. So yeah, it starts out with a meteor blasting through, and then you get this weird, like, freaky thing, dude. It was weird looking, and then it looked like a little worm, and then it like spits this like silicone webbing out and attaches to this dude's face.
Yeah, under their mouth, and
yeah. And then it was like all fucking like alien style, like face hugger shit.
Yeah,
it was interesting. And then we dive into meeting the actual characters and stuff, because this movie just dives right into it, man.
Oh yeah, I felt like it was very fast paced.
Yeah, and
that's not a bad thing either.
No, not for something like this either. And it's Allmart is the first store, but then we find out our store is going to be a toy store that we're in.
We love toys.
We love toys. Rip Toys R Us. So, dude, this toy store, I think I was texting you last night when I was watching it. It looks like they just went on Amazon and were like bulk buy of like all these random like $5 item things and then stock the shelves with it. They had these like giant fucking like carnival blow up aliens in there and everything. It's like, what is all this stuff? This is not things that you would see in a toy store. Where's the action figures? It's like, yeah. But they tried. I'm guessing it's a lower budget film too, so
yeah. And one of the main protagonists has like a germ phobia, and He's a germaphobe.
Ryan Lee.
I don't know why I couldn't come up with that name or that title.
I'm trying to remember what Ryan Lee is that people would remember him from, because he looks very familiar. Yeah, and I don't recognize any of his work besides This Is 40.
Yeah, he's got a very recognizable face, but I couldn't place it.
I don't see.
If you're a germaphobe, the worst place to work from experience is a retail store. People are fucking gross, especially children.
I'm sorry. It's the kid from the Goosebumps movie, the first Goosebumps movie.
Oh.
There we go.
Wow.
I thought he looked familiar. Okay.
That's a good movie too, people. I haven't seen the second one, but the first one's good. I was shocked.
The second one's all right. It's not as good.
Yeah, no Jack Black.
Jack Black's in the second one.
Is he? I didn't think he was.
I think he shows up for like a millisecond. No, he is in the second one. Wait, what's the second one about?
I don't know. I've never seen it.
I don't remember. Maybe I haven't seen it. The first one is Slappy, right?
The first one is all of his master copies.
But Slappy's the one that is really like the head.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe I haven't seen the second one. Anyways,
yeah, we don't have time for tangents.
Moving forward with this film, so we get into the toy store. We start meeting all the different characters and shit like that, and we get all these Karens coming in.
Yeah, angry Gran.
And
old lady with a grandma necklace. She's a bitch. I dealt with people exactly like her. Don't work at retail stores. People suck.
I worked a lot of retail before when I was younger. So yeah, it depends on the people for sure. 100%. And the location of your store. Anyways, so you get all these like they do these gags where it's like the people trying to get in for the Black Friday sales are zombies already. Mm-hmm. Like try and like set you up thinking it's like,
get us in.
Yeah, it 100% reminded me of some shit South Park would do.
Although they show they go down the line of shoppers waiting, and they get past this one guy. You clearly tell he's infected.
Yeah. And they all go in. For some reason, the first person that's in line was in the fucking like one of those automatic buggy carts, like the handicap buggy carts. Yeah. It's like these people let this person first in line. Come on. Like,
I don't think they'd let them. From experience, it's probably just cut in front.
And they let
also don't need that cart.
They did let her go in first. Like they let her drive slowly in.
They seemed angry about it though.
Yeah. All right, so let's jump me around before I just go beat for beat.
So it starts off with a very, very good satire of working in a store during the holidays where people are just nuts. And it quickly turns, the angry Gran lady, she goes and sits down on Santa's throne. It turns out there's one of the meteors underneath it. I don't know how people didn't notice it was there. Then we cut to, they're just going about their regular work business. If you've ever seen this show, Superstore, it's basically that until they come across the first infected, which is the guy we saw in line.
Yeah.
And I believe they find him because the germaphobe is like, hey, you got to go clean up puke. It is like, do I have to? I
want to point out, though, that the meteor underneath the Santa's thing, it literally looked like it was like a plushie inside of a plastic bag that they were just sucking the air out of.
Oh, dude, as this thing grows throughout the movie, it looks so bad, but it's not terrible.
It's still impressive. I mean, for the budget, most likely. So we get the introduction to the first monster guy. And it attacks the kid because he, or not the kid, yeah, the cashier kid dude, the germaphobe.
Yeah. He
Um,
starts knocking shelves down on it. And then they come after. He's like, "Why did you attack a customer?"
well, not only does he knock the shelf down on that guy, then he just like acts nonchalantly when he sees the other girl and was like, "Hey, you gotta go," after he was just attacked by the other guy. And then that girl attacks him and he like hits her or back the head or something, right?
Yeah, it does something like that. There's like a meeting in the back. They're reprimanding him for attacking a customer. Meanwhile, another guy who's just called the newbie, he finds another.
Not only are they reprimanding him, they're fucking zip tying him and telling him that this is a citizen's arrest.
Meanwhile, shit's still going down outside. Their new guy is he finds another infected who attacks him. He beats her with a skateboard, and he goes, "I just attacked a customer with a skateboard." And they're like, "Not another one."
But you didn't see them zip tie him to a chair, now did you?
No, they're forcing everyone out because of the attack, and we're temporarily closing while we figure out what happened.
Yeah. And so in this whole time, apparently, like before Devin Sawa's character attacks the other lady with the skateboard, I just want to point out that this fucking, not the manager, because the store manager is Bruce Campbell's character, but the floor manager, I'm assuming, is what he's supposed to be. The sassy one,
Brian.
No, Ryan is the germaphobe.
No, Brian is the character's name.
Oh, Brian. Yeah, Brian.
Stephen Peck, however you pronounce it. Everyone's different.
Yeah. He's such an asshole in this film.
Oh, and it gets better the more it goes too.
Such a bad person. This is what a bad person is. And yeah. And
as shit goes, I'll just cut to that bit.
One. He's just so
as shit's going down and the customer, more infected are coming into the store.
Okay.
They get into a fight with one in the back, and it's him and Ken, Devin Sawa's character. They fall down into the boxes, struggling with it, and Ken gets bit, and he's, oh God, I'm gonna change.
Doesn't even get bit.
Oh, he's bit.
No, the thing like it hooks onto him real quick, but then they pull away.
He got bit, but it's revealed later on.
Oh, that's at the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about while they're still deciding what's going on.
And they're like, "Oh no, he's going to change his stuff," which we don't know if that's because they saw at this point the thing coming out of the mouth onto another person's mouth.
Yeah.
So we don't know if a zombie, this zombie bite thing actually works or not. So he's just waiting for him to take him. He's getting frustrated. It's revealed Brian is the one who bit him.
Yeah.
The kids, and they're like, "You're a horrible person."
He's such a horrible person. He's like the worst person in this film. And I mean, they all are pretty, they all pretty much have like they have a moment where they're all basically like showing how bad each of them are.
Yeah.
But it's like, that is the worst fucking person in this movie. And I wish they would have gotten a better death, but we'll get into that.
Bruce Campbell's is just misogynistic asshole.
Oh yeah. He's the generic,
and he doesn't hide it either. He's like, "I loved working for this company because women would laugh at my jokes, and when I yelled at people, they had to do what I said,
even if they were bigger than me." Which I think they were like referring to Michael Jai White's character because he's like could kill them all. Although
he's a total badass in this movie too. His character's name?
Michael Jai White's character's name? No, I don't recall. Archie. Okay. Yeah, he's a badass in almost everything. I don't think I've seen him not in a fight scene in any movie. For people who don't know who Michael Jai White is, he's fucking played Spawn back in the 90s. So, and Bronze Tiger for the Arrowverse. Yeah. So he's a badass.
There's your CW reference that hasn't been done in a while.
You're welcome. We don't do those anymore. I don't watch that shit yet. I haven't watched it in over a year.
I'm the only one left.
I will get back into that. Anyways, so Michael Jai White's character is not a stock boy. He's like, he works in the warehouse.
Yeah.
At least that's how it appears. He works in the warehouse. He has a fucking Bowie knife in the center of his chest. What fucking shit is he doing in the warehouse? Like,
it's more badass than a box cutter.
Very true. Very true. I remember carrying around just like a normal knife like this when I worked in the warehouse and got yelled at because, you know, it wasn't the specific box cutter. Shit. I was like, but this actually cuts the stuff for the first time. I don't have to worry about.
You know, no one's gonna know what you're talking about because we don't do video anymore.
Oh yeah, sorry. I pulled out a normal knife. But yeah, I might put this video up because it's Christmas time.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas. I will be getting videos back out so everybody knows all the backlogs and stuff that we haven't done, just so you guys are aware. So let's move through here. Michael Jai White's character is basically the badass. He has this badass, like, there's no reason his character should have a nail gun that shoots that thick of a fucking nail, period. I don't even know why that was even in a toy store. Unless he was building pallets, but even then those nails were thick for even building pallets. So
he just conveniently had the things he needed and it worked so well.
Yeah, it did.
Also, he seemed to come from out of nowhere as well. As soon as shit started really going down, like one of their the new guy who got attacked, he turns on them and he just like I think he was there the whole time, but he just comes out of nowhere and just like goes after him.
He wasn't there the whole time because he was out in the on the floor, and I think he had seen something, and then we cut back to the back, and then like the thing is about to attack him, and he just walks up behind him and right in the back of the head. Yeah.
Not before he gets the manager, that lady, what's her name, Anita?
Yeah.
He was a tool as well.
Like I said, man, none of these people were good people.
No.
And well, maybe
they're all
the girl,
people you will find in a work environment.
I think the girl might have been the Marnie. Was that her name? I think.
Was it Marnie?
The younger girl. I think she was probably the only one that didn't seem bad, besides how she was treating Ken.
Yeah.
So, but even at that point, I'm like, you understand why she said those things to him, because it does make sense. It's like, you ain't taking me out. You're just, we're fucking around in the work. That's it. Yeah. So shit, where is it?
You want to talk about the creature?
Michael Jai White.
Oh, okay.
Michael Jai White's character. This is when we're about to see the first creature.
Yeah.
Because the rest of the time, these are like alien zombified things that spit these thick whites. They probably glow in the dark vines out of their mouth and inject you with something, even if it's like for half a second. Because the one guy was only on him for like maybe half a second or so.
Yeah, it got him.
Yeah. So it's got to be like some viral thing that gets you instantly. COVID 2.0. So and Michael Jai White helps out the Ryan or Chris, tells him to go as he has the vine wrapped around his arm. Why not just cut it off? Which he does. He ends up cutting it off. and then he gets attacked by all these other zombie guys and kills them all with the fucking big ass Bowie knife he has strapped to his chest somehow. But then eventually, for some reason, Chris is watching, but Michael Jai White's character, what was his name again?
Archie.
He gets beaten by this bigger, more mutated zombified alien.
Well, before that, because his character, like I said, he's just conveniently, he knows how to survive, because they make it to the manager's office and they call another store. They're like, don't let them in. They're building something. Oh God. And a bunch of crashes and screams. And then they try to go for the exit. And he's like, follow me. And as he's going, the other people kind of deviate away from him and get into trouble. And he comes back. He's like, I told you to follow me.
Yeah.
And he's like, he knows exactly what to do for some reason. And
there's always that one. There's always that one guy.
Yeah. Makes you wonder, what the hell has he done in his life?
Well, I mean, we don't really get a whole lot of him, unfortunately, to give any backstory of like, oh, was he military or anything like that? Or, maybe he was Spawn. So, after his death, though, because he gets killed. And at first they just suck him up. And I was like, okay, well, maybe he's going up there and he kills the thing on his way up with the knife or some shit. And we just don't see it on screen. And then later he'll show back up out of nowhere for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. They drop his entrails like all over the fucking ground. Like guts, everything. I was like, damn, that sucks. But also it's counterintuitive to them because that would have been a good host for zombie or zombie alien because of how big he is and shit like that. So maybe he just was like, I'm not putting that makeup on. So
could be. That's these infected people, as you said, they start off looking like just normal zombies and then they kind of change over time. And oh God, towards the end of the movie, there was Angry Gran, her final change.
They start to look like birds almost. Like they get these beaks and shit.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what they were supposed to be.
Is that like the bird flu joke?
Maybe.
But the teeth like come popping out of the skull. They get like giant and muscular.
Yeah.
And
it's kind of, it reminds me of shit from like Resident Evil, how they're continuously adapting.
Yes.
And evolving and stuff. I wish
that liquor scene.
I wish in this film that we got some kind of backstory on the aliens, but with all these movies too, like, I mean, I've seen so many of these B movies that I'm used to not having backstory. So you're just kind of infer, you figure it out your own self. It's just a fucking alien. Just deal with it. Like,
and as they're escaping, you finally get some idea of what's going on, what the customers, as they keep calling them, are building in the center of the store. And it's like they're giving their body mass to this thing that's continuing to grow.
Yeah. It kind of looks like the Blob at first as it's growing and growing. It's bright, a little translucent pink. And
kind of looks like holiday wrapping paper.
Yeah. Or a giant brain. So yeah, okay.
They eventually get onto the roof after they're down to just Bruce Campbell, the asshole manager, the germaphobe, and the girl, because Ken had been bitten at that point and was left behind. And they're up there, and Bruce is like, I have to sacrifice myself. I'm like, why? No, don't do that. Like, okay, I won't. Then, like, almost
That's
not long
before-
after, he's like,
that's before
okay, I'm going to
Ken.
do it now.
That's before
What's that?
Ken gets bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to go down with the ship. Why?
Why, man? Why? What do you need? No, don't do that. Yeah, and then Ken gets the bite taken out of him. They split up. Ken stays. They go. Then they find the door to one of the trucks, the semi trucks that's hooked up to the dock still.
Yeah.
And then they go in there, and their idea is to climb through the little hatch in the back of the trailer, in the top of the trailer. For people who don't know these things, sometimes they have vent hoods and shit like that. And then to climb out of there and then into the truck and then to drive away. So Chris is the germaphobe, who is picked to go through there, of course, because I don't think the other two guys would have been able to fit through anyways. I don't think Bruce Campbell's character would fit, and the
No.
Brian definitely would not have fit through that hole. And so Chris goes out, but for some reason when he gets out, he starts going and walking around instead of just getting right in the fucking truck in the first place.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing? It made no sense, but of course it's to move the story to bring all the zombie aliens over towards the truck.
Yeah. And we skimmed over the part where they had locked the store up, and they were like, okay, what do we do now? And somebody's like, oh, the cops are coming. And it's infected cops that just bust through the door, run over the old lady.
Yeah.
And
lady.
they get back into the store. So they're like, somebody wants to go to the police station. And they're like, we can't do that. You saw them already.
Yeah. Yeah. The police are here. They're dead. They're already turned. They got them, or some shit like that. Apparently, though, this is happening like everywhere, because in this time frame, Ken finds his cell phone and sees the text messages from his ex-wife, saying that his daughters are cool, they're safe, everyone's safe, they're going to this like safe haven place or some shit. I'm like, that escalated fast, because the stores are still dealing with it, and these are creatures that supposedly just came in.
Well, we know at this point there's at least 3 locations. We had the big people in the beginning, the other We Love Toys location.
Yeah.
And then them.
So do these alien things only go to big box stores now?
My theory is populated locations.
Right.
And, you know, Black Friday, a lot of people gathered.
Yeah. So to grow with these things is the infected go up to it and kind of like get sucked into it, like morph into
merge
it,
with it,
make it grow bigger and bigger, all Rita Repulsa style. Make my monster grow. But yeah, Ken finds out his family's cool, and this kind of lets us know, okay, it's not just this store and the other store or whatever, it's all over the place.
Yeah, it's a bit bigger.
So it was for a lower budget movie. I thought that was a really cool little detail that they tossed in there, just to like open up the world a little bit more, so we understand that it's not just the store. Clearly we know, because the cops are not answering their phones. For some reason, the cops have a voicemail. they remark that the police have a voicemail.
It's such good satire in this.
There's a lot of good little moments in here too that make fun of like lots of different things. Like you have like the working.
There's
man.
a part a little bit later that we haven't got to that I want to bring up.
Okay. Well, you have like the working man jokes that make fun of that. Like, you're just doing it because of this, or you're a slave to these people here. They say something about they got the cops. The cops are all bad now. And
they're monsters.
Like, they're monsters. And the girl's like, now?
Yeah, there's I believe we were talking a tiny bit last night, and you mentioned that this reminded you of South Park, where they just make fun of everyone evenly, and I agree.
Touch on everybody and everything evenly, which is awesome because you don't really see that a whole lot in a lot of movies nowadays. It's like one or the other. I think another show I've watched that has done that really well is the tackling both sides was the Politician show on Netflix.
West Wing or whatever.
No, the Politician. It's called The Politician.
Oh,
it touches on a bunch of different aspects of the political realm. Like the first season's them in high school. The second season he's running for governor, I think, of New York or some shit like that. It was a pretty cool one. It was done by Ryan Murphy, one of the guys behind American Horror Story and the Scream Queens and shit like that. Yeah, it was nice to see them do in this film Black Friday, to see them do everybody.
Yeah.
Especially when they do their little round table of like, oh, I've been here for 10 years. I've been here for 1 year. I've been here for 3 years. They make fun of they make fun of the first guy because it's like, I've loved toys for 1 month. and they like throw his name tag over in the pile, and they're like, that must be the shortest someone's ever worked here. And they just start laughing about it. Like, it's very like dark humor in that moment because it's like, fucking hell, dude, he's dead. Anyway, yeah, so do you want to jump to the ending? Are we missing any parts?
They fail to get out with the truck because Chris has no idea how to drive it, and they all make fun of him.
Yeah.
And so they're escaping. They jump into a trash pile.
No. They escape to get to the roof, and then that's when there's the fire going because Ken started the fire with one of these malfunctioning robotic bears. When I first saw the thing on screen, I was like, is Ted in this movie? I thought Ted was in the fucking film for a second.
Yeah, they're what's the word? The malfunctioning toys, and
defective.
They say random shit that's kind of like audience commentary, like some things you were thinking, these things just come out of the bear.
Yeah. It's weird. It was really weird. They because I guess the bears are like self-aware.
Defective. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, defective. And he ends up killing the first, or the newbie employee wasn't dead, so he finally ends up killing that guy.
Yeah.
Somehow. Oh no, he doesn't even kill him. Oh yeah, he kills that one. Starts the fire, and then the old angry granny character now is a monster and is dragging him to the blob. Why she didn't change him first is beyond me, but
maybe it was just time for her to join the mess of
maybe after they evolve so much they can't infect anymore. That could be.
That's what I was thinking too, because it seemed like it was more of a killer than
yeah. There was a point where these creatures, like after a certain point in the time, they were just like not infecting anymore. They were just killing
and gathering material.
Apart. Yeah. And growing their other monster and stuff. Which all these creatures are committing suicide as they join this other creature.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they're supposed to be extensions of the original alien.
Maybe a hive mind.
Yeah. Spiders Man. People don't know who that is. Go look it up. Spiders Man. You'll love that story.
So the three of them are on the roof. They jump into the trash pile, which the germaphobe's like, I don't know. And as they're escaping finally, they hear a gigantic boom as something is crashing through the ceiling of the store. And we finally reveal what this thing has been building into.
Yeah. And it's giant, like a giant kaiju alien monster thing. It looks really cool. It has two faces though. One is like a human face, and the other is your alien face that we've been seeing, which is kind of like a bird face with a beak and everything. So we see this stuff outside, and this is after Brian has revealed that he's the one that bit Ken. Because
we get this great trope that makes no sense, but I'm so glad they made fun of it because he's such a piece of shit.
Yeah.
He's like, maybe I can reason with it.
Yeah.
And they both look at him like, why? No.
What the fuck is wrong with you? And he goes up and he tries talking to it.
Yeah.
It's like, I understand. The customer is always, and then flick, the fucking creature just
not even a flick, it's just smack.
Yeah. And he goes flying across wherever, I was like, damn. But you don't feel bad at all for that character. It's like the one character that dies that I was like, I don't feel bad. Because the other ones that died, well, besides the one chick, she kind of deserved it. She was being a bitch.
Yeah. The old lady felt bad for her.
You feel bad for the old lady, but it was funny because she just gets hit by the car and whoop. But you don't ever see her again. She doesn't show up as an alien or anything. So maybe they can't change dead bodies.
Bruce Campbell just jumps into the hole of all the creatures.
Which I don't understand why, because it doesn't serve a purpose besides.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, and it wasn't even like an epic, like, I'm, here. No, it was just like, okay, I'm going to do this. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Go on.
So I believe at this point, Ken rejoins them and reveals that he's alive.
Yeah. He said, did you see him flick that? Brian, did you see what happened to Brian?
And they're like, we can't get out of here. It'll
follow us.
Pick us off one by one because it's picking up pieces of the building and like chucking it at him.
Yeah.
And he's like, Chris goes, I got an idea. I'll distract it. He goes and like gets in the slowest fucking vehicle he can find, and Ken's just, no.
Well, yeah, he gets into the forklift. Yeah, which I thought that was part of their plan. Like the way it seemed like Ken was acting was like he was like, oh no, to like make the creature look towards that way. That's what I thought, anyways.
See, my thought was, what are you doing, you idiot?
Oh, I knew exactly what they were doing. I was like, oh, they're going to use it as a catapult. That's awesome because it has the spikes and everything. So it was pretty smart. Yeah. If only they had like 500 more of those.
Yeah.
And so the creature attaches to the forklift.
Yeah, like more of those viney things.
Yeah, he's like holding it back as best as he can. And then he's finally just like, all right, screw it. And then hits it and releases it and jumps out. And then the alien thing, kaiju, sucks it into itself. Oh, excuse me. And it stabs it like in one of its eyes, one of its faces, not both of it, but one of its faces, because this thing is huge and the car is not. So the forklift. So yeah. Would you like to continue? Because this is where it just goes weird. Like the creature just gets weird just from being stabbed once.
I'm having a bit of trouble remembering what happens between now and when they get in the car.
All right. So the creature gets stabbed. It starts going crazy. And and chucking some more pieces of the roof and stuff. And then for some reason it just dies and the building collapses.
Probably a mixture of the fire and
maybe. So it ends up dying and they end up getting in the car that way. And they end the film in the car. Like you get kind of a hope that the girl and the guy are going to end up a couple. Ken and the one chick. So before during the movie, it was
you mean Chris?
No, Ken. Ken is the older guy.
I know.
Yeah. They reveal it in the car because he says, how about we go and get waffles or pancakes or some shit and maybe go on. He alludes to them finally having a real date outside of the store.
I thought he was just offering to buy food because it seemed like she was pretty into Chris.
I thought they were trying to go that way, but I didn't get that by the end of it because I think they were just like, you know, they didn't want to kill the poor little kid. So they had to leave it with him and then the other two. And they were going to make them like an actual couple. At least that's how I read into it. But I might just be hopeful for the old man.
Get that young girl.
Right. Because they did allude before that they were just like kissing and making out. And I don't know if they were supposedly having sex in the store too or not.
They make it sound like it, but she's like, no, we didn't do that.
Right. And she says that I haven't even seen your kids, blah, 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 whatever. Never even don't know anything about you outside of the store. Anyways, so as they're leaving in the car, they're like, all right, let's get out of here. Let's go to this safe haven I was told about. We'll get some pancakes and maybe we'll do something. He literally asks her out on a date in the car as they're leaving.
I thought he was offering it to both, but you know.
He was only looking at her. So I mean, I forget this kid was even with us. What you talking about?
They play it off, you know. They beat the creature, you know, happily ending. Everything's, you know, he's gonna go get his kids. And as they're driving, you see another creature in the background. And then another one off in the corner. And it's like, oh, this is not over.
They're going down because for some reason their store is like in the middle of nowhere. They're driving down this road that like goes left and then curves and goes right. And then it looks like they're on a mountain, on a hill. So it goes down like that. But you see 3 other monsters by the end of this before it goes to credits. And then it cuts the credits from right there. So yeah, a possible sequel.
I don't think there ever will be, but I would absolutely love more because I actually had a lot of fun with this film.
Yeah. As we stated at the beginning of this podcast, this is not necessarily a Christmas movie.
No.
This is very deeply rooted in with Thanksgiving.
It takes place on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah. Thanksgiving night / Black Friday morning. So and they even have like a little Thanksgiving meal in this film too and stuff. And that's where they do their whole reveal of like stupid shit that they've done or whatever about themselves. So yeah, I enjoyed this film. I mean, I watch a lot of B-movie stuff and I like this type of shit. It's one of those movies you don't really have to think a whole lot about because is literally what it is. So yeah. And then the nice satire of just making fun of everybody was awesome.
Yes. And a lot of current events and stuff.
Right. And just being able to see like, you know, everyone getting made fun of. It's just fun. And to see some of the actors, like I haven't seen Devon Sawa in anything that I've watched anyways. I know he does stuff, but I haven't seen him in anything in a long time. So it was nice to see him there. And Michael Jai White, I love watching him just fight.
You called him the Hawkeye from another universe?
Yeah, he looks like he could be Hawkeye from the multiverse. And I would totally be behind that casting. If Marvel, hey, you want to do that, please. Not that anyone from Marvel is listening to us.
Yeah, I'm just looking at his movie list, and I think Final Destination might be the last thing I've seen with him. So it's been some time for me as well.
Really? Have you ever seen Idle Hands? Him, Jessica Alba, Seth Green.
Well, yeah, but that came out before Final Destination, like by a year.
That's such a good movie. I love that movie. It also has the Bash brother from that plays Foggy Nelson in fucking the Daredevil show.
Holy shit, he did a bunch of voices for Action Man. I forgot about that cartoon. I'm going on a tangent. Yeah, I love I had a lot of fun with this one. Obviously, this is the one I didn't watch with the missus, but
oh, boo. Well, now you should tell her, hey, let's watch this again every year.
She's never going to want to watch this.
Instead of going shopping on Black Friday, let's watch this every Friday, Black Friday. And they do make even a reference to that, like the Black Friday. They're like, oh, we're calling it Green Friday now.
Yes.
Because corporate says it's like too racist or some shit. Yeah. I was like, that's funny. Because I'm pretty sure there are some stores that do that, aren't there?
Probably. I don't know.
So, all right. So do you want to move on to Jingle All The Way?
Yeah, since John still hasn't joined us.
Yeah, weird. Usually he would want to be here for this type of shit. So awesome. All right, so Jingle All The Way from 1996 with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Not the most...
And Sinbad
and Phil Hartman. Oh, and The Big Show shows up in this film.
No, Paul White. He was not The Big Show yet.
Was he the Giant still in WCW at this time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or that may have come later. I'm not sure. I know a lot of people, when he was released by WWE and came back as Paul White, they're like, we haven't seen him in almost 20 years.
Let's see. Big Show was... I don't know why I'm going down this road. Okay, anyways. Let's go. The Giant. Yeah, he was the Giant in 96.
Okay.
Still. Okay. So let's move forward with this film. Jingle All The Way. If you haven't seen this, I'm so sorry.
What is wrong with you?
It is a film about a father who vows to get his son the Turbo Man action figure for Christmas. However,
not a great father.
Yeah. However, he waited last minute and every store is sold out of them. And he ends up traveling all over the fucking place to find one.
He has one hell of a day.
Yes.
Because this movie pretty much takes place over one entire day.
Yeah. It's all on Christmas Eve.
There's some bits before, but
yeah, there's like at the very beginning, it's a little bit before. Like a day or so, the day before Christmas Eve, because he finds out at nighttime that he forgot to get the gift. So he goes out in the morning and tries to get it. So yeah. Another film that it just, I miss toy stores and toys being like this everywhere, man. If people can't see in my background, if you've ever watched any of our videos, I have toys everywhere. So yeah, that's
he does.
And speaking of toys,
beware of evildoers.
A Turbo Man doll, and this is the
original catchphrase.
This is the original Turbo Man doll.
Good work, Booster. You can always count on me. Good work,
close enough.
Booster. Good work, Booster.
Come on.
Beware of evildoers.
It won't do it.
Good work, Booster. You can always count on me.
Don't you love the randomizer?
Good work, Booster.
It's one more.
It's turbo time.
There we go. We got to it. Holy crap. You're torturing us for that thing. Oh, I love how it's randomized and not just in a set order.
Right.
Love that.
My Babu Frick is in the set order, so I know how many times I have to push it to get the hey.
I think they realized, we like to know what it's going to say next.
Right. So yeah, I really hate to be talking about this film without John, but he's not here, and I'm not sure why. So let's dive into this, man.
All right. This is a staple in our, well, at least for me. I know my wife mentioned that she hasn't seen it in a while, and that's crazy to me because I love this. Was before I got into the classics, like It's a Wonderful Life and Miracle on 34th Street. This was my number one Christmas film for a very long time. Yeah. I just really, I always liked Arnold. Sinbad is hilarious as hell, and his character takes on a whole new context to today's world.
Oh yeah,
it just gets better with age, I think. Yeah, those are my thoughts.
Okay. I watch this movie every year, so I just love it. It's so 90s. I love Sinbad. I've watched almost all of Sinbad's old 90s stuff. Anyways, I love Arnie, so I watch anything these two are in, especially when they're in the same shit together. Yeah. So as far as the film itself goes, dude, I have a Turbo Man doll. Come on.
Oh, I didn't know Sinbad had a character in Steven Universe.
Does he?
Yeah, Mr. Smiley.
Okay. For those who don't know who Sinbad is, just Google, or don't even Google, go to imdb.com and type in Sinbad, Sinbad, because he's the best thing you'll ever find from the 90s. And just watch all his stuff. First Kid is awesome, by the way. So yeah.
He's an actor, writer, producer, comedian. I don't know what more you need to know. He's very talented.
Yeah. And underrated. Very underrated. So let's move forward. Shall we? So we already basically described the whole premise of this film. Yeah. Arnie runs out to the first store he can on Christmas Eve, and for some reason they're doing a giant sale on Christmas Eve. I've never seen this. I don't even remember them doing this stuff in the 90s. Although I didn't go out shopping in the 90s, I didn't really, and we didn't go to big stores. They live in Chicago, correct? Is that where this movie takes place? One of the big cities. I know that.
I'm not sure.
Okay. Jeez, I can't breathe. So he goes there. He finds out there are no Turbo Man dolls, but there are plenty of boosters. Oh.
IMDb. Why is there a trivia saying you can buy official Turbo Man action figures on eBay? No shit. That is not a trivia.
You can also buy them on at the store right now. Walmart sells them, but they are refabs. They are not the originals, people.
Why have all but 10 people found this fact interesting?
Because people don't, I don't know. Probably because when the first Turbo Man dolls came out for the movie, the one I have here, nobody knew that they were out.
Oh, I have one. Well, I had one, I should say. I do not know where it went over the years.
Yeah.
They also released a booster, didn't they?
Look, I've been trying to find the booster, and I cannot find one.
That one is rare.
It's very rare. I think the only boosters that they had were the ones that were screen used, that they put on the shelves, and then they resold those off. Those are the only ones I've been able to find. So nowadays they would just CG a bunch of them on the shelf, but back then they would just make these really cheap out of I don't even know what it would have been. It would have been like a carbon plastic, like the whatever they use to do the car parts, where they vacuum printed ones, if that would make sense to anybody. They were hollow basically. So
Oh, I didn't know this was Chris Parnell's first movie appearance. It's just funny. We've been Raising Hope. We've been watching some of those holiday ones, and he's the store manager in that, bringing it back around to retail.
This is all retail. It's all Christmas.
Tim Allen was almost Howard. There's a lot of interesting trivia on this fucking movie. I'm gonna have to sit down and read this. Oh my God, it's continuing.
I don't think Tim Allen would have been. I don't think that movie. Look, I love Tim Allen too, but as Howard in this, I think that the him being big and bulky work, especially once he gets put into that Turbo Man suit.
Yeah,
I couldn't see Tim Allen in that Turbo Man suit. It wouldn't look right.
Apparently the Turbo Man idea, the movie they watched in the beginning, which is pretty much just the end. I've never realized that until this year for some reason. You know, I've only been on this earth for 31 years, so I'm intelligent. It was a parody idea of Power Rangers.
You couldn't tell that?
No.
Dude, they're all in the different colors.
The bad guys.
I mean, it's a parody. It doesn't have to be that they're all good. Like, I would say it would be more so like Power Rangers meets
Well, the thing I didn't realize was the fact that movie is basically the end, like exact.
Yeah, how it's laid out. Yeah. It's a nice little setup for the ending there. I would love. Who owns this? Disney owns this, correct?
Yep, it was a 20th century film, so they own it.
Fucking do a Turbo Man show, like a legit. I'm sure they probably will.
Saying the same thing to my wife. I'm like, this is an idea that they could do, like a cartoon.
Yeah, I mean, because they're doing that whole like, this is
Lightyear
in reality. So, or what the toy's based on, I should say. So
that
why
makes no
not?
Sense to me, but
it does not make sense. Your suit wouldn't look like that, but okay.
Yeah,
it's not the same world Andy lives in, but okay. I'll still watch it. But I would love for them to do a Turbo Man series, and maybe with the new sales of the new Turbo Man doll that they re-released, that Funko did, maybe that'll make Disney be like, hey, there's some marketing here. We could fucking make a killing on some toys, because if you do a Booster toy, I'll fucking buy it.
Yeah.
Like, I need Booster to go with my Turbo Man. Plus the way that they do toys nowadays and shit, like, could you imagine a McFarlane who did the Spawn toys and shit like that? He does some of the DC multiverse toys now that they're doing. Could you imagine McFarlane Turbo Man and Booster set? Like, that would be awesome. And the bad guy. Anyways,
it's money sitting on the table.
Yeah.
And Disney is never known for that.
Right. And then it would be a good way too for them to have like their own Power Rangers show almost.
Which they had Power Rangers and only did like 2 shows out of 6. So I don't know if that's the best idea.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so let me at Disney later and be like, hey, make a Turbo Man show. It doesn't even have to be Christmas themed. That's the best part about it.
For those, another Disney connection, those who didn't realize, Jamie the kid is Jake Lloyd. Jake Lloyd. My brain malfunctioned.
It's Mr. Anakin?
Yeah, young Anakin, the one that everyone hates and went to jail. So,
because his dad didn't get him a Turbo Man doll when he was a kid. Damn it!
Yes.
See what happens, parents, when you don't get your kids what they want. They end up being
turn out like a mailman who pretends he has explosives in his bed.
They get lost in the desert, and then they give birth to the savior of the universe. But then they also go to jail.
I'm having trouble figuring out where to start with this one because it's just been a big part of my life. Like it's hard to believe no one has seen this.
Right. I love this film. Everything. Oh, so they do a bunch of gags with Arnie and Sinbad where they're buddies at first, and then they're like worst enemies. Fucking Sinbad does this gag with the post office shit. It's like, I got a bomb.
That's at the radio station.
He does it twice.
At the radio station.
Well, no, he does it once, and he's like, oh no, it's just at the radio station.
Yeah, he does it twice at the radio station. Once to run away with the gift certificate, and the other time was to get away from the cops.
Yeah. And then the cops are like, oh, it's just a harmless little goof. And then you get this awesome scene of Sinbad just like shaking his head and like, there's some sick people, man. Sick people.
It's a sick world. Like you were carrying that around all day. Are you not like concerned?
Yeah, it's just awesome, man. Like the just the comment, like, what does he go to jail for at the end? Does he go to jail for trying to torture this kid, or does he go to jail for that fucking bomb?
Probably a mix of that. Attacking the real Dementor to steal his costume.
Right. Assault, bombs, discarding of mail. Like that's a federal crime, right?
Yeah, he throws it out of his bag to run faster to the radio station.
Like he does all these like criminal acts. It's like, okay, so what's he going to jail for? And then Jamie gives him the like this badass chrome gold Turbo Man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that dude's going to jail.
The special edition. Yeah, he's like, my kid's gonna be real happy when he opens this up tomorrow. Your kid ain't getting that tomorrow.
Man, that's sad to think about. Wouldn't it be awesome if they did like a sequel to this one, not the one that we got with Larry the Cable Guy, but a sequel to this one while these two are still alive?
Yeah, I actually would love that. Now that Arnie is back in
acting
film hell.
Because it'd be kind of cool to see, like, I don't know what they would do though. I wouldn't want them to take away from this movie, this movie here, but I would like to see like the story continue between those characters. Maybe they became best friends afterwards. Maybe
they could do like what they've been doing for a lot of other like E.T. and Home Alone. They'll just do a commercial. Sums up what they've been doing since.
Speaking of, did you see that? What was it? What's it? Sex in the City. They did the Peloton scene where the main character, the dude, died. And
spoilers
Peloton,
for anyone who watches that show.
Yeah, spoilers. I don't know the guy's name though, so it's not a big deal, I guess. But
I
it's
don't
all
watch
over
the
fucking
show.
news.
So.
It's all over the news. So, but Peloton stock dropped after that episode a lot. Well, Peloton came back with Ryan Reynolds' production company, and they did a commercial for Peloton with that actor who from the show. And the so in the show they're on the Peloton, and the actual like coach on the Peloton is an actual Peloton coach. So the commercial stars the actor who died in the show and the actual coach from the Peloton. And then you get Ryan Reynolds voiceover, and at the end says, he's not dead. It's like, Because it's perfect. Because like I think they went to Ryan Reynolds too for it because they knocked that shit out super fast. Because I think his production company did like all the Deadpool stuff, all those little promos and shit they did for the first Deadpool movie.
I wouldn't be shocked.
But yeah, because they got him they got his production company to knock it out, and Ryan Reynolds did the voiceover at the end and stuff like that. It was really, really smart on Peloton's side. But yeah, and it was really cool to see them just do that. So I'm going to keep talking as Tivis walks away and dive into Jingle All The Way again. Sorry, getting a little off track today. We are trying to be really busy. I apologize also too for everybody that had to wait a month. I think it's been about a month now since we did our Thanksgiving episode. So we're going to try and get back into a routine where we do at least 2 a month moving forward again. We've just been really busy, and then the holidays and stuff like that.
We've been busy.
I've been busy. These two don't do anything.
He is the producer, editor, and main host, so we can't really do a whole lot without him.
So once some things die down, we'll probably get going again on these. I'm not sure if we'll go for a month again for a while, but we'll try and at least get 2 a month out moving forward, starting next year, which will start season 3 of our show of Operation Babble. I think we're going to start
your show.
So this is the last episode of season 2 of Operation Babble. Our seasons go as long as I decide they go. So because the first season went for a long time.
Like Death Battle.
Yes. So anyways, dive back into this film and then we'll continue our other shit later at the end. So thoughts on this movie, bro? Because like you really can't. There's not a whole lot to talk about with this, like to break it down where you don't feel like you're just being repetitive with it, because we've seen it so many times, and I feel so many other people have watched this film already so many times that
if you have not, my thoughts are why not? You are depriving yourself.
Oh yeah, and I'm sure John will be pissed off that we didn't dive into this one like we did the others, but the others are brand new film.
Yeah, this was an off the cuff suggestion by him when he had time to think about it anyway. So
yeah, he didn't even remember what he picked when he re-asked. So I don't know. I just love the aesthetic and the appeal of this film.
It's just looks so I don't know what it is about Christmas. I love Halloween sitcom specials, but when it comes to Christmas, movies take it like by far with me.
Yeah.
Especially 90s movies. There's it's probably just growing up in that era, but there's just something, I guess, familiar.
Well, I mean, how would they do a movie like this nowadays? There's no toys.
They can't. That's my wife said they would not be able to make this year, or if they were to try to make this today. Because was it in the very first meeting of Sinbad, he goes berserk talking about how it was the toy company conspiracy and starts choking a random lady.
Oh man, it's blame the government. No, there's no way that you're going to be able to make something like this necessarily unless you make it a period piece, honestly. Mm-hmm. But even then, there's some comedy things in here. It's like, well, I'm surprised at the time that they did this, that they got away with the whole mail bomb thing, because that was happening. Nowadays, if things are like happening like that, they're not going to allow them to put that in a movie. I mean, look for fucking Pete's sake, the Batman movie theater shooting changed the entire sequence in one of the gangster movies that they had. They even pulled the trailers for it, because in the trailers, and it was a period piece, in the trailers they showed the gunmen's behind the screen shooting through the screen to shoot the guys in the audience. and they pulled all that stuff. You can't. I don't even know if you can find it. I downloaded it before they got rid of it, and I was really hoping to see it play out in the movie, like as like an extra cut or some shit. But they just got rid of it 100%, which kind of sucks because I was curious of to what that storyline would have felt like, because it didn't seem like they did such an impactful scene with their reshoots or whatever they did. So I'm trying to remember the name of that film, but it was a Josh Brolin film. So if that sparks anyone's, nope. Okay, fuck off then, Tivis. Do you know who Josh Brolin is?
It sounds familiar.
Thanos, Cable. Okay, got that.
Yeah,
okay.
I got you.
Oh man, what was that film called? I'm gonna look it up here real quick. It was Gangster Squad, is what it was. 2013 Gangster Squad. Still a good movie. Yeah, I love the movie.
Yeah, it's
Phil
like,
Hartman's character in this is a freaky neighbor. I swear to God, he would get knocked out. How Howard doesn't like beat the shit out of this kid guy every second of the day. And I love
I
that
quote.
Go on.
I quote this movie all the time. You put that cookie down. My wife just looks at me. I'm like, it makes me sad that you don't get that reference.
Oh, she's just taking a shower. Do you want me to go get her? No.
I can go check if you want. He's so sleazy and it's so perfect.
It's so bad. It's like, what if Ned Flanders was a dirtbag?
Yes. Oh, and the reindeer just.
Oh yeah, man.
He cold cocks that thing.
I love too, like when Howard Arnold's character, for people who don't know, when Howard is around Phil, like or what is this character's name again? Ted.
Ted.
And when he's around Ted and his wife and stuff, he doesn't come off as like the big, bulky, muscular guy that he actually is. They play him almost as an everyday, a normal man. But I'm like, dude, you're huge. What if you're always working? When do you find time to work out? And two, why is this dude trying to like fuck with you when you could just pummel him?
And he actually makes a comment. I was like, "Oh, your muscles aren't going to help you with this one."
Yeah. But yeah, I enjoy this film. I'm going to repeat myself again and again and again and saying that. I don't know. It might just be because I watched it a lot as a kid too. But I watch it every year still with my kids. I pull out Turbo Man he sits up on the top of this shelf up here for people watching the video if the video goes out. He sits on the top of one of my shelves all the time, and we just pull him down when we watch the movie, and a kid plays with him and holds him while we watch the movie and shit. So I thoroughly find this movie, I don't want to say heartwarming. Is heartwarming the right word? It's jolly. It makes me feel jolly.
Nostalgic,
good. I would love to say it puts me in the Christmas spirit, but honestly, it doesn't. Because the whole time it's like, I gotta get this or my son's not gonna love me type of thing. Luckily, at the end, the kid fixes that whole thing by giving the doll away and being like, I have, the real Turbo Man at home, my dad. Which also says something. Does he actually think his dad is Turbo Man? Also, ta Turtle Man.
Yes.
All right. Do you want to add anything to this, man?
Just a little, because we were mentioning how the kid becomes Anakin in like 3 years time, probably 2 years, because it came out in 99 and they probably filmed it throughout 98. We watched the MTV like competition reality show called The Challenge, and there was a person on there from that area, and my wife was a big fan of hers and still listens to her podcast called Brain Candy. She talks on there about how she actually used to babysit this kid when he was younger, and about how once all the hate started coming in for playing Anakin, that really fucked him up.
Yeah. Like, I can imagine, man. Like,
Star Wars ruined this guy's life. It's just a little fun factoid I had.
Yeah.
If you want to hear it, it's on her podcast again, Brain Candy. It's not a great podcast.
Yeah.
So go find it at your own risk. I don't listen to it for reasons.
All right. So you told me something that you finally experienced this year that you never experienced with this movie. What was that?
I never knew. All the years I've watched this, I did not know there was an after credits scene in this film that set up a possible sequel. And that blew me away. That, again, I've watched this, I don't know how many times. This has been my number one Christmas movie for a number of years.
Mm-hmm.
And I never knew that this existed. And the only reason I can guess is that this is the only year I watched not a VHS copy of it. And usually with VHSs, once it hits the credits, put that thing in rewind, put it back in the sleeve.
Nice. So what was the scene exactly?
He's finally, because there's a part in the movie where Ted, the neighbor, starts putting the star on the tree, which, why isn't your tree together? It's Christmas Eve. And it looks like they're putting the tree up for some reason. It's way too late for your damn tree. You're just going to put it up and take it back down again. That's a lot of work.
For Ted?
It looks like his wife.
You mean Howard?
His name, Liz, is putting up their tree, yeah. And Ted is trying to put the star on because they have all the boxes spread out. Why do you have all the boxes spread out if you're not doing it right there and then?
Mm-hmm.
You put them back in storage, at least I do, because they're in the way. But he puts it on finally, and she's like, so seeing all the hard work you had to do to get him his Christmas wish, what'd you get me?
Before you confused me, because you said Ted was putting the star on. That's Howard's putting the star on.
Well, in the movie itself, because Liz comes out and is like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Howard's out in the yard. That's when he decides to break into Ted's house.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Sorry, that's my fault. I didn't give enough context.
I was confused. I was like, well, I mean, Ted's got destroyed, so.
No, I think his tree is fine. It was his Joseph statue that got destroyed.
Okay. No, I thought the reindeer destroyed it.
It may have, yeah.
Because then Howard is outside with the Turbo Man wrapping paper and doll.
Oh, he's still inside. He's putting the carpet out when they run in because they're like, why is this flaming head flying out of your window?
That's what it was. Okay. Anyways, yeah, so it reveals what you said. What do you get me for Christmas?
You get this zoom in on his face, like, oh shit.
Yeah. A nice
the exact same reaction we got when earlier in the film, she's like, so you got the toy, right? I told you to do it 2 weeks ago because all the stores are sold out now. And he's like, oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah. It kind of takes away though from the rest of the movie though. In a way. From the point of the movie, I should say. Like it's not about
he's still a bad father and husband.
Yeah. Both. I do like though the fact that this movie and 8-Bit both dealt with black market dealers.
Yeah, that's Santa workshop.
because they have the Santa workshop where Vern Troyer's there, the Big Show, or Paul is there, and it's Jim Belushi, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Jim Belushi's the main Santa guy, and then that little
Danny
dude,
Woodburn is the elf.
yeah, but Vern Troyer's that tiny little elf, and yeah, but you never see his face, so it's pretty funny. It's the one that Big Show accidentally punches. He's like, "Oh, hey, little buddy, are you okay?" It feels so bad. People always forget Big Show did a lot of these movies because Big Show was in Waterboy as well.
It's a wonder that his sitcom show on Netflix wasn't better.
Wasn't WWE behind that though?
Maybe.
I think they were.
It's not good.
I enjoyed, from what I've seen of it, I enjoyed it, but I like a lot of crappy sitcoms too. So anything that feels like a sitcom, I'm gonna watch it. All right. So do we want to move away from this film?
Sure, yeah. I don't know. Again, it's just
What
so
else there
hard
is?
to even know where to go because it's just so ingrained in my,
Right.
it's just blows me away that even consider someone hasn't watched this.
Yeah. All right. So with that said, Tivis, let's pitch out to Disney. We want a Turbo Man live action series on Disney Plus with
And
Dementor and
short.
Booster, and a short. Oh, go on.
And a short with Sinbad and Arnold's characters meeting again after all these years.
Spending Christmas together. Reminiscing. How about that? About the
Maybe
time.
they go meet at that diner that they destroyed the phone booth of.
And then the police guy comes in.
Yeah.
That poor policeman guy's hand burnt, his freaking bike
Bomb.
crashed, bombed,
Ran into a bus, which is his own damn fault. I like how Arnold apologizes for the bus when it's his fault for not looking where he's running.
Yeah.
It makes it sound like Arnold pushed the bus.
Maybe. The deleted scene. Yeah, so let's get a live action Turbo Man show.
I'd be fine with a cartoon as well.
Tivis, don't put that into their heads. I want a live action Turbo Man show. Give it the budget that you give let's say a Marvel show, maybe.
Or make that movie that the kid was watching.
Well, that would be a show. That was a
It'd
show.
be a movie.
The Turbo Man was an actual show in their universe.
I know, but they were watching the movie on TV, which is weird because it was also in theaters.
Are you sure the movie was what they were watching and that wasn't?
I assumed. I don't know. I don't know how that works.
I always assumed it was their TV show that they were watching. Also, let's get a Galaxy Quest TV show. I don't know who owns that, but let's just do that. I think Disney owns that too now.
They might.
I don't know anymore. All right. So, with that said, Tivis, I don't know where they go.
Oh, wait. No, isn't that thing Amazon's been working on?
Yeah, it was. I think it got canned and then brought back and then canned again.
Yeah, they've been trying to do stuff with this. Yeah, Simon Pegg says it's still happening, but there's been no other news. And this is as of July this year.
Simon Pegg, a writer on there or some shit?
I believe so.
That would be kind of cool. He likes that shit. Because he wrote one of the Star Trek movies.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep. Simon Pegg working on Galaxy Quest TV series for Amazon this year.
Awesome.
So we'll see if it ever happens.
Yeah. Do they bring any of the original cast members back?
Well, they can't do one of them.
Yeah. Rip. It would be cool just to have Tim Allen. I mean, what's he doing? He's not doing nothing. All of his other things have been canceled.
I honestly don't know if he's still wants to act, because that I still have to watch it, but from the previews, that final season of Last Man Standing just seemed like a giant love letter to his career, kind of like a send off.
Oh yeah, because he was like doing. He brought in Tim Allen or Tim Taylor.
Yeah, Tim Taylor appeared.
Yeah, that was cool. I want to see that episode. I still haven't watched that yet. I need to finish up that show. I mean, I have so many shows to finish up. Yeah, so let's tell everybody about our other show that we're doing finally.
Okay.
Since we're 10 episodes into it, me and Tivis have
10 or 11.
By the time this drops, it's 10 episodes.
Okay.
Because we're taking our little break. But me and Tivis have been working on another project, another podcast, another show for everybody. And Tivis, do you want to tell them a little bit about it?
Well, I think the best way to sum it up is just say the name, and that's the Monster Cast.
The Monster Cast.
It's we've been watching the monsters and recording whenever we find time. And it's been a blast. We've been going through the original show. We do the first one is the just how we, our thoughts on the show and why we like it so much. And then after that, we do 2 episodes a show, and it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Oh man, the monsters is a blast.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Like I said, we're 10 episodes in now, and taking a little break until the beginning of the year.
Holidays are a bit tricky to try and schedule anything. Yeah.
So it's been a really fun one to go through, especially with Tivis, us having a relationship, not just in communication, but from this podcast too. It is a completely different style of show. So if you are looking for like how we do a lot more tangents on this show and shit like that, it's not necessarily like that. We try to reel it into
stay on topic
to the monsters, and or whatever works within that universe, I guess. We try and stay on there. It doesn't mean that it doesn't happen sometimes, but we try to stay on topic as much as possible and knock that stuff out. And we've been having a blast. And if you want to find it, you can find it. It's The Monster Cast, CAST.
Myke didn't think the name through.
Didn't think it through, so you gotta bear with me when you Google it, because you'll find just the Monster Cast from Rob Zombie's show, or movie,
or the TV show,
and stuff,
or the sequel show, or the movies.
Yep. So you can find us on all the socials though at the Monster Cast, Facebook,
Twitter, Facebook.
And we're on YouTube as well at the Monster Cast. That's the only place. Even in the description, sometimes it says it's on my YouTube channel, but the only place it actually is on is the Monster Cast YouTube channel, for YouTube anyways, for the videos. And then, but you can find most of the information from Facebook and Twitter, and Instagram too as well. And if you guys ever want to reach out, just reach out to us at themonstercast@outlook.com. And we
still share this stuff in our OB Facebook group.
Yeah, we share it in the group as well. And we would just like to extend an invite to any listeners out there that like me and Tivis. Sorry, John's not part of that show. But if you guys like us and you want to hear us talk about a show that we enjoy watching, definitely tune into that. And I guess that's all I really can say about it, because we market the crap out of that on that show. So
yeah.
If you guys do want to also contact this show, Operation Babble, you can do so at operationbabble@outlook.com. And we are also on the socials at Facebook and Twitter. I think there's an Instagram set up for this show, but I don't use it right now. There's just not a whole lot to post on there. But you can find us on Instagram and Facebook, and you can also join the Operation Babble Facebook group, and all the links are in our descriptions to the video and or audio that you're listening to.
And if he does put the video up, it'll be on his YouTube channel.
Yes, these videos for Operation Babble do go on the Myke Shrews, MykeShrews YouTube channel. And I'm working on possibly setting up the Operation Babble channel as well to get all the video content over there, but that's a lot of hours and computer power to do that. So I will be doing that slowly and moving everything over that way. Anything else that we got for this show? Or
I don't think we said the Monster Cast, we, like you said, we're taking a break. We'll be back January 10th, and that drops on Mondays.
Yeah. What do you call it?
Monster Monday.
Monster Monday. So yeah, we're dropping that on Mondays, and Operation still drops on Fridays. So when we get a chance to record anything.
Yeah.
But the Monster Cast has been pretty solid at every week as we've been going by. So
I think we missed a couple or at least 1 week because of Thanksgiving and other shit.
Yeah. We get those out more frequently because those we just record in our downtime whenever
we do them in bulk.
And then this show we usually only do on a specific day because it's the day that all three of us are off. Like I said, John was supposed to be here, but I don't know where he's at. So hopefully
probably stayed up all night again.
Right. Yeah, because he still hasn't texted me back, and it's been a couple hours.
Yeah, he's probably sleeping.
So with that said, Tivis, you got any final words for this show?
Can't wait for 2022.
Hopefully it's better.
All
right, Tivis, what did you think of today's episode?
I liked it.
Awesome. And I enjoyed talking these three movies with you guys. If you need to go check, if you haven't already done so, I should say, go check out all three of these movies. You can find 8-Bit on HBO Max. Sorry, 8-Bit Christmas on HBO Max. You can find Black Friday on any VOD service, Amazon, shit like that. And then you can find Jingle All The Way pretty much anywhere. It seems.
Disney Plus, Hulu, Amazon.
Yeah. So there's always tons of different ways to check all these movies out. And I'm sure a lot of our viewers know other ways to check these movies out. So more power to you. All right. So my quote for the day will be from Jingle All The Way. And it's a quote from Myron. That's how you pronounce his name, right? Myron Larrabee, Sinbad's character.
Yes, Myron.
Also, Merry Christmas, everybody. They sit there and use subliminal messages to suck your children's minds out. And I know what I'm talking about because I went to junior college for a semester and I studied psychology. So I'm right in there. I know what's going on. And then they sit there and then they make your children feel like garbage. And you, the father who's working 24/7 delivering mail so you can make an alimony payment to a woman that slept with everybody at the post office but me. And then when you get the toy, it breaks and you can't fix it because it's little cheap plastic.
Go watch Hawkeye.
Hawkeye. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Later.
Laters. Peace.
You just finished another great episode of Operation Babble. You can catch every episode of Operation Babble on all your audio streaming services, including SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Radio Public, and more. Don't forget to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Operation Babble, and join the conversation today by searching for the Operation Babble group on Facebook. Links also in the description. Thanks and have a great day.